Yo, what's going on, everybody? Man, it's your boy Between the Game Sports. It's Friday, man. And trust me, I didn't even want to do this today, man. I'm tired. It's been a long week. Um, but, some people hit me and was like, man, why don't you do an HBCU preview show before the weekend starts, man? It's a lot of games on tap, and I appreciate the early birds in the building. Man, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe, hit that bell button, and as always, put where you from in the comments so I can always, acknowledge you, acknowledge your city, your state, your town, your province, your country, whatever it may be, man. So, but plenty of games on the schedule for this weekend. You have Prairie A&M at Abilene Christian. You have Alabama State going out to the West Coast. They're playing against UCLA down there in the Rose Bowl, which is going to be a very good experience in memory for a lot of those Alabama State players and coaches and fans, especially if they can pull out a win. You have the big game down in Louisiana, LSU versus Southern. Very historic moment, very historic game that's going on that's about to rock off with that. You have Bethune Cookman playing against South Carolina State University. That game is played yearly. From what I'm hearing, you have Grambling is playing somebody. It's slipping my mind. It's just TSU is going to play Toledo or something like that, man. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, as always, man. Sometimes, I lose track of what I am talking about. And then you have the big game between Jackson State and North Carolina. I'm sorry. Jackson State and Tennessee State. The Southern Heritage Classic. That's going down. This is possibly the last game in this series. Again, I spoke about this, earlier in the show I did this week. Jackson State, TSU for you Midwesterners. That's Tennessee State down south where I'm from, Texas Southern. This is possibly the last game between these two teams in this classic, the Southern Heritage Classic. So that has a lot of implications of what's going on, in the future, man. And again, it's Friday. I'm in Texas, so Central Time. It's like 6:12. So I appreciate folks who are rocking with me right now. Again, and put your comments. Let me know where you're from in the comments so I can give you a shout out, man. I appreciate you spending your time with me. Trying to figure out what game I want to start with, and I'm thinking I'm going to start with Prairie. Prairie A&M is going all the way to Abilene Christian. For folks who don't know, man, to travel in Texas, it's some distances in Texas are longer than it is, crossing multiple states, man. If you've never been to Texas, it's crazy. It's weird. Going from like the east border of Texas all the way to the west border of Texas is like 13, 14 hours. And then most parts across the country, if you go 13, 14 hours, you've hit about 6 or 7 states. So crazy stuff, man. Shout out to David Williams, Jackson, Mississippi's in the building. Got the J hat rocking and rolling, so I know you ready to see this Southern Heritage Classic. I would love to cover that game this weekend, but I don't think I have that channel, so I might not be able to cover it. More than likely, it's looking like I'm going to cover and give my play-by-play with the Bethune Cookman versus South Carolina State game. So, folks who have tuned in to my channel before, you know how I get down, you know how the comments go down. So more than likely, that's what's going to happen. And if you haven't had a chance to vote, go vote. All right, go to my community page and, give. You can vote on certain games. There's the PV game versus Abilene Christian, which I was just talking about. Of course, South Carolina State versus Bethune Cookman. Alcorn versus somebody in that nature, man. So go to my community tab and put your vote in, and I will cover that game for tomorrow, man. I might do 2 games tomorrow, depending on the time. And shout out to Paula Johnson. Texas road trips are just ridiculous. Yeah, man. They're There's a rumor that if you start in Houston and drive to Chicago, it's shorter than it is driving to like Canada or something from another place. So ridiculous, man. David Williams, appreciate you, man. Paula Johnson says vote for the Panthers. So yeah, so you have somebody who out there they want to see or hear me, cover the that game. So PVU is in the building. Shout out to PVU, man. Uh, David Williams says it's going to be on the Southern Heritage YouTube page. So that if you want to see that game, go to that channel, cover it and watch it, man. So that's going to be interesting, to rock with. HBCU band talks up, folks. What's going on, man? My guy, appreciate you dropping through. Or my lady, I don't know. Coach is in the building. What up, Coach? Yeah, PVU, no. Yeah, so like I said, go ahead to cover this PV versus Abilene Christian game, and it's hard to get to Abilene Christian because you either gonna have to drive a certain amount of hours, or PV is gonna have to drive down to Houston, either drive to Hobby, which is on the other side of town, kind of, and then drive to Bush and Econo, which is basically on the other side of town. So they have a choice to make. So they can either hit the road on bus, or they can get on a plane and either fly to Dallas and then drive 3 or 4 more hours, maybe 5, or fly to El Paso and then drive. Abilene Christian is one of those tricky schools to get to in Texas. No airport there, if I remember correctly. Kind of like Stephen F. Austin, where I played at. So you either had to fly into Dallas and drive 3.5 hours, or fly into Houston and then drive 2.5 hours. So the choice is yours, man. So it's really, really weird. And if you saw the PV versus Texas Southern game, PV basically ran their way to a win, man. They had almost 400 yards rushing, I believe. And I said in one of my previous videos this week, can Prairie View A&M run the ball all the way to a SWAC championship? And, this is one of those games where you kind of trying to figure out what your team is. And I said that running the ball travels better, to me, in my opinion. It travels better than passing the ball. And in that game against Texas Southern in the Labor Day Classic, I don't think Prairie View A&M completed a pass. So it's going to be interesting to see what their quarterbacks do and what the coach Bubba McDowell, if you don't know, played for the Oilers, played for the Titans. He, has a lot of love for the Houston area. Brand new head coach, got his first win against Texas Southern in the Labor Day Classic. So can this team go on the road to Abilene Christian and run the ball like they just did? I don't know much about Abilene's Christian football program. No, way more about their basketball program, because the head coach there now was one of my assistant coaches in college. So shout out to Abilene Christian basketball team, which they're doing a tremendous job over there. But I just wonder, can they run the ball like they did against Texas Southern? Texas Southern looked really, really bad. They look over. Looked like they didn't belong on the field for the most part. Quarterback Andrew Body could never get going. The protection was bad, very, very bad. But I do worry about Prairie View A&M. Can their quarterback, who came up with cramps during that game against Texas Southern, can he be accurate enough to keep the defense honest and make Abilene Christian, respect the pass? From what I'm seeing and what I saw, it looks like Prairie View wants to run the ball, man. They had 3 guys, I believe, go over 100 yards rushing. The quarterback, the running back, Jaden Lewis, and another guy. I don't want to misquote his name. But they're going to have to do something just enough for Abilene Christian to respect the passing game. So I just don't know. Again, tough traveling, man. Either you're riding a bus for umpteen hours, or you're getting on a plane, flying to Dallas, and then driving 4 or 5 more hours, or you're flying to El Paso, which I believe has an airport, and then driving some more hours. We'll get to some of these comments. David Williams says it only takes 12 hours from Jackson, Mississippi to Chicago. I think in relativity to the map that you look at, it looks like Houston would be a shorter trip, but I think Houston to Chicago is like like 9 hours or something like that, 10 hours, man. Somebody can correct me, man. But man, traveling in Texas is absolutely stupid. And shout out to Israel. Israel, what's going on? Thea, I love, welcome back. Miss Ivy Tood is in the building. The Southern Heritage class will be shown on the Southern Heritage Classic YouTube channel. Yeah, they did that last year. Had a tremendous amount of viewers, and I hope they get to 10,000 viewers on the YouTube channel, man. They have the game is on CBS Sports Network, and that's a channel that's not on a lot of people's radar. It comes on Hulu, maybe YouTube TV. If you have YouTube TV, that channel comes on there. But if y'all looking for it, go to the Southern Heritage Classic channel on YouTube and you can watch it, man. So, but like for me, this weekend, it looks like I will be covering the South Carolina State versus Bethune Cookman game. And so, while we speaking about that, might as well go and jump on that topic, man. So the South Carolina State game versus Bethune Cookman, both of those teams are coming off losses last weekend. I can't remember. Let me kind of go to my notes. I think Bethune Cookman lost to Miami last weekend, in which they lost to Miami last weekend. They lost 70-13. Like if you're a Bethune Cookman fan, you kind of expect it. But 70-13, giving up 70 points is very, very tough to recover from. Those guaranteed games, man, and this is why for all my Jackson State subscribers, this is why Jackson State won't take those type of games, because it can be very, very demoralizing for a team's morale, chemistry throughout the rest of the year, man. So 70-13, if you follow Bethune Cookman, you know a lot of games last year, they lost 6 or 7 games within 7 or less points. I think they lost to South Carolina State last year, like 42-36 or something in that nature. 42-35. Looking at my notes right now, 42-35. So that's a game that they probably could have had. But coming off this 70-13 loss is kind of tough. But you kind of try to look at the bright side of things when you're getting your butt kicked like that. The Bulldogs, the Wildcats quarterback had a very, very good game against these guys. So his name is Jalon Jones, right? Jalon Jones is the quarterback at Bethune Cookman. He had 243 yards passing. Against a very, ACC opponent, Miami Hurricanes. They're trying to rebuild their thing. Coach Cristobal, who came over from Oregon. So that's a kind of positive you can kind of take, with it, man. So it's tough, man. Bethune Cookman will win. HBCU Band Talk says Bethune Cookman will win. All right. 70-13. Got you. James Harris. What's up, James Harrison? Jackson State football is ready, bro. Hey, man, these dudes looking like, and Shadur has been saying that they have a Power 5 team, right? They're just not a SWAC team, not just an HBCU team. They have a Power 5 team, and it's looking more and more like that is what's happening with this group, man. What they did against FAMU, even though they weren't totally happy about, what happened, there were some things that's just being a perfectionist like Coach Prime and his staff. That's just being a perfectionist. But they clearly dominated that game from start to finish, man. And FAMU looked like a JV team. I said that in one of my recap video on Monday, on Labor Day. So I'm Jackson State, man. They have a chance to make some history here, and not by winning stuff, but by having the impact, the historic impact across, the SWAC, across HBCUs, and then across, college football in general, because the world is watching. I was on my good friend's live yesterday, Hoop Jargon. I was on his stream yesterday, and he said, "Is Coach Prime?" The title of the video is Coach Prime, causing negative feelings in the SWAC and HBCU world, and we both like agree like it's not, man. It's doing nothing but bringing attention. Do y'all realize how much Jackson State has been on ESPN, Fox Sports One, Skip and Shannon, Undisputed, First Take, all this stuff. Coach Prime was on Good Morning America with Michael Strahan in the spring. All this stuff is bringing positive attention to all these guys and all these programs, and that's what you want: exposure, man. Exposure to let these kids know that you can go to a HBCU school and still get the exposure that you want. But I will say this: you have to win and you have to perform at a high level for folks to continue to talk about you. So, Israel Curry says Jalon Jones was Jackson State QB prior to Shadura. Great info. Appreciate you. Miss Ivy too said, let's support fam and smash that like button. Appreciate you, Miss Ivy too. You're going to get a horn for that. I don't know if my sound effects are working. I can't hear it. If y'all heard that, let me know. Put a 100 in the comments. Yeah, man, y'all make sure y'all like, subscribe, hit that bell button once you subscribe. If you got any questions, please put it in the comments and let me know. If you haven't let me know where you're from already, please do so in the comments. Again, what school you repping, what city, what state, what hood, what Providence, what country. Man, we've had people in here from South Korea. We had a person in here from Germany last 2 lives ago. We had somebody in here from Australia. We've had folks from South Africa, from Belize, all this other stuff. So this channel is starting to grow and connect folks across the world. And if you haven't watched one of my lives when I cover games, at halftime, I allow anyone to, if they have a small business, a nonprofit, social media contact, anything of that nature, as long as it's moving in a positive direction. If you do anything with kids, I allow those folks to put their information up in the comment section at halftime. But back to this South Carolina State game versus Bethune Cookman. South Carolina State is coming off a butt kicking versus UCF, man. But South Carolina State is the defending champions. They went into the Celebration Bowl last year. They're the defending HBCU champions or Black College champions, whatever you want to call it. They went into the Celebration Bowl last year as the underdogs. Coach Buddy Poe, I hope I'm saying his name correct. Good Lord. Hope I'm saying his name correct. He basically had his guys in this bunker mentality. He had his guys me against the world type of things. And they basically, let's say they shocked the world last year in that win, man. They completely dominated Jackson State. They made Jackson State look bad, making folks understand, say like Coach Brown said, we weren't focused, we weren't ready. I didn't have my guys ready, anything like that. Coach Buddy Poe, Shaq Davis, the quarterback who started off shaky. Quarterback last year started off shaky. If y'all go back and watch that game, the quarterback from South Carolina State, he was very, very shaky at the beginning. And Jackson State had a moment where they should have went for a field goal and they decided not to, and it basically kept South Carolina State in the game. And that's not taking nothing away from South Carolina State. After they, got that momentum, they went out there and dominated the game. But if Jackson State makes a couple of field goals here and there early in the game, instead of going for it on 4th and 5, 4th and 6, somewhere in there, 4th and 3, just going for the 3 points, that might be a different story. But that's not what happened. South Carolina State dominated. Shaq Davis, who is a very, very he has high potential of being a draft pick, man. The guy has the build of Megatron. If y'all are football fans, you remember Megatron. Played at Georgia Tech. Shout out to Georgia Tech because I had a guy on one of my community tabs just talking about Georgia Tech. He's a big Georgia Tech fan. So he has that build, Plaxico Burress build. He may not be as fast as Megatron. Megatron was 6'5" and ran like a 4.3, but more like a Plaxico Burress type dude. Y'all remember he played for the Giants in the Pittsburgh Steelers. Good big body. 6'5" and above, 6'4" and above, can do a little bit of everything, a decent route runner, but he's just big, man. And quarterbacks love big wide receivers where they can just throw the ball up to him and get to it, man. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen with these games. South Carolina State versus Bethune Cookman. Again, both of these teams are coming off a butt kicking, right? Both of these guys are coming off a butt kicking, man. So what team can galvanize behind each other and say, you know what, we went and played our guaranteed game. All right, now let's bunker down and get this dub, right? So this game is played annually, right, year by year. So South Carolina State has had the upper hand, if I remember correctly, especially last year. They went in that game 42-35. And y'all got to remember, South Carolina State, and this is why Jackson State was favored in a lot of things. South Carolina State, they started off like 0-5 last year, 1-4, and then they basically went on to sweep their conference to get to the Celebration Bowl. So the naysayers were in the comments strong. I did a preview show before that game, before the Celebration Bowl, and we had folks in there. My channel is basically Jackson State heavy. I do recognize that. But we had some South Carolina State fans like, hey, like we do this, we do that, man. And I had one guy who was basically saying, like, we play real football down here. We don't play classics. And, the Jackson State fans was letting them have it. But at the end of the day, that game turned out to be South Carolina State. The Bulldogs were not joking around. They put a butt kicking on Jackson State down there in Georgia. And, it is what it is. So I would like to see both of these teams make it back to that game because, Jackson State feels like they didn't finish the job. And if y'all know me, man, I'm a big Kobe Bryant guy. And one of his famous statements, an interviewer asked him, was like, why are you not smiling? And he goes, well, the job's not finished. All right, I have a shirt. I think I wore that shirt last weekend, actually. And it says, job's not finished. And I think Jackson State feels a certain way. I'm really interested to see how they perform this weekend. And shout out, oh, my goodness. I don't want to butcher your name. I really don't want to butcher your name, man. Oheen, Canada, Toronto. Good Lord. Shout out from Canada and shout out, Canada, Toronto. James Harris says Jackson State just landed a 4-star defensive end from Alabama, 6'8" offensive lineman from WITGE, a 84-inch wingspan. I thought that the guy that they landed from Alabama was a linebacker. I know they landed the offensive lineman from USC. Basically, right now, the rich is getting richer with that group. The rich is getting richer. Rand 67 says, how long would it take for Jackson State to be the team like North Dakota State? North Dakota State they are a dynasty within the FCS level. They play like North Carolina A&T this weekend or North Carolina Central. One of those teams, y'all know in the comments, man. Let me know. But it's either North Carolina Central or North Carolina A&T. One of those teams right now are looking for an upset against that group. North Dakota State is a very, very good program, man. Very, very good program from top to bottom, from the coaches, from the athletic staff, from strength and condition coach, the way the things are ran. Like they have figured it out, and they've been the cream of the crop. Jackson State is getting to that point, and if you follow my channel, I've said multiple times, I need to see Jackson State win this year, and I need to see them win the Swac again this year, and I need to see them win the Celebration Bowls one or both years to be considered, a great, great dynasty. And folks, there are a lot of folks putting Coach Prime on the level of Eddie Robinson right now. But we have a very, very small sample of what Jackson State. This is year 3, but y'all remember initially Jackson State went 3-3 in the spring and in the COVID year, if I remember correctly. And then they come back last year. They go 11-2 overall, undefeated in the SWAC. They lose a very, very close game against ULM or ULL, University of Louisiana Lafayette. It was one of those two teams. And then they lose in the Celebration Bowl. But they win the SWAC, but they don't win the SWAC in dominating form, even though they went undefeated. A lot of penalties, a lot of turnovers. I'm saying not a lot of turnovers. A lot of boneheaded mistakes. defensive penalties, offensive holding. They gave up a lot of sacks. So this year, it means a lot to this group. And I know I'm getting off topic from the South Carolina State game, Bethune Cookman game, but kind of answering this question. Give me an undefeated season this year again, but they have to be in the form of a dominating fashion. You might have one close game in there in the SWAC, dominate the SWAC championship game, and either win or compete, highly in the Celebration Bowl, and then come back next year and do the same thing. So that's how I'm kind of evaluate Jackson State. Israel Carey said Jay-Z is gonna be like JSU. Keep watching as they evolves, man. Yep. Russell Hayes, HBCU, MEAC, SCSU in chat. You got our coach name wrong. Please correct me, man. Like I'm not a person of I don't have an ego with this thing. What is it, Russell Hayes? I don't have an ego, man. If I misquote, if I misspeak, please correct me. It's that's how I rock and roll, man. That's how I get down on this channel. For folks who have followed me, man, y'all know, man, I'm good for amending my mistakes or anything, man. So please correct me if I got it wrong. Let's see who else. Missing my notes right here. Alcorn. No, it's not Alcorn. Is it Alcorn? No, Alabama State, right? Alabama State is off to a 2-0 start. And they go off west. And they have a chance to play in the Rose Bowl, right? A very, very historic stadium on the West Coast, man, and just in college football in general. Alabama State is 2-0. They go and beat good Lord. They go and beat Howard in a very, very weird game. It was like rain delay going on, thunderstorms. I think they played it until like 2 a.m. or the next day or something like that. So that's a hard game to win on the road. Howard University just got a deal with Jordan for like 20 years. So, eventually they're going to get some guys in, man, because Jordan is just Jordan. And then they come back and then they beat Miles College, I believe. So their guys are feeling really, really good with themselves. They have a brand new coach in Eddie Robinson Jr., who was a linebacker in the NFL for years. Played at Alabama State, I believe. And if I've been to Alabama State, they have really, really nice facilities. Better than most in the South. So they have a chance to go out west, play against UCLA, Pac-12 team. Who knows what's going on with the Pac-12? It might be Pac-8 now, right? They got a lot of moving parts within the next few years. But UCLA, not the biggest Pac-12 recognizable team, like USC or Oregon and things like that. But they're up there, right? Power 5 school. They get play in the Rose Bowl, very, very historic stadium, the Coliseum. And they have a chance to go out there and make themselves known, and they can go out there and compete, and especially when they move into 3-0, and then you go into SWAC play. You're feeling really, really good about your chances, man. You're feeling really good about your chances if you're an Alabama State fan. If you're an Alabama State fan, you should be feeling really, really good about your guys and about their chances going to out there in the West Coast of UCLA, out there in California, man. I think they have some rolling fires or rolling blackouts right now, man. So hopefully that doesn't affect that game too much, man. Too much. Who else we got? Somebody let me know in the comments, man. I'll kind of try to speak on it. I think I spoke about PV versus Abilene Christian. I spoke about Bethune Cookman, South Carolina State. Who else we got? Spoke about Jackson State a little bit. I'll come back to that eventually. Florida A&M has a game against Albany State, so hopefully Florida A&M can get their guys right. They got a lot of it's a lot of turmoil. It's a lot of craziness going down there at Florida A&M right now from the administrative department. Coach Willie Simmons is basically trying to hold on to what he has. He's trying not to lose the locker room. They got a couple of key guys back last week, Isaiah Land, and B.J. Bowler, but it just wasn't enough. Jackson State just they look unstoppable. The quarterback never got comfortable. He had 2 pick sixes against him with Jackson State. So they go play Abilene State this weekend. So hopefully they can kind of correct themselves and figure out. Man, you just got to get that first win. You got to get that first win, and you start feeling good about yourself. And once you get that win in, now anything can happen. And again, this happened last year, where Florida A&M, they ended up losing to Jackson State 7-6. Very, very close game. And then they got hot towards the end of the season, and they were just hoping that Jackson State can take a loss here and there, which never happened, and they ended up getting into the FCS playoffs. So, Florida A&M, that game initially between Jackson State, it's a tough game to have to open in your schedule, basically, man. That North Carolina game was during 0 week, which is stupid to me. But that's a tough game to have. Your very first game is against, the defending Swac champions. So, it is what it is. I'm about to open the chat for anybody who wants to get in on this. If anybody likes what we're doing, man, y'all make sure y'all hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, like this stream first, hit the subscribe button, and then hit the notification bell, right? Hit the bell button so it lets you know anytime we go live. I'm going to try to do this every Friday unless I have something going on. Just kind of do it a preview for the weekend. And if you really like what we do, man, hit the Cash App. Cash App is Between the Game Sports. Each first letter and each word is capitalized. Of course, you have the $ in front, man. But anything, I would just love for you to subscribe or just like this stream. That's what I'm good with. But if you really like what we're doing, I will take Cash App. You got Alcorn State versus Tulane. They have a chance to win that game. Alabama A&M is playing against Troy this weekend on ESPN3. If you're an Alabama A&M fan, go check that out. Alabama A&M got to figure some things out. They lost, the best player in the conference last year, and Mr. Glass. He was one of the better players in the conference for the last 2 to 3 years. So you try to replace a guy who's basically been your offense for the last 2 or 3 years. So they got to figure some things out. Coach Maynard down there, who I think he's a very interesting guy. I would love to interview him. I think he's just, very, very interesting, man. He's gotten a bunch of transfer ins from the transfer portal as well. 4-star, 3-star guys, high school recruits. But it's one thing to get those guys in, but it's another thing to create the chemistry that you need to have for these guys to be successful. So Alabama A&M playing against Troy, can they compete? We shall see. And then we have the very, very big game, right? The historic game that's about to happen. Southern versus LSU, and somebody just beat me to it. Israel Carey said SU versus LSU. Oh my God, this is history in the making, right? History in the making. You should feel some type of way. All right, and if y'all saw that game last week, oh my God, y'all saw that game last week. LSU plays Florida State, I believe, man, and they just out there, kind of going through the motions. Florida State is playing inspired football, right? And then they tie the game, and then they get a extra point block or field goal block. Like, I'm not LSU fans, and what a fall from grace, LSU fans. What a fall from grace. You go 2 years ago, you had one of the best seasons in collegiate football history. You have one of the best seasons in collegiate football history. And then last year, you're not doing too well. You fire a coach. You fire Ed Orgeron, whatever his name is. You fire that guy after he just won a national championship. So what are you doing down at LSU? And then you go hire a guy by the name of Brian Kelly, and he comes out here with this trash Louisiana accent, trying to fit in and all this other stuff. Like, what is going on in Baton Rouge with the Tigers, right? And it is, I will say this: ain't too many places in college football on a Saturday night that's better than down there in Baton Rouge at LSU. Which I would love to go to a game, but I've seen videos, I've seen pictures, uh, I've seen all this stuff, man. I hear people talk about it. What an atmosphere to rock and roll with. And then you have Southern, man. You have Coach Eric Dooley, man. They're coming off a 86-0 win against Florida College or something of that nature. Uh, James Harris says Delaware will win. I'm sorry, let me get to some of these comments. My bad. Um, James Harris says let HBCUs get the 80. I want to say I guess that's supposed to be 80 plus scholarships and funding. We all can compete on the high levels, man. Yep. You need funding. You need people to back you up. You need folks to believe in what you're like that. You need your coaches, man. You need your coaches to be especially the head coach, right? If y'all understand marketing, you need your head coach to go out there and be the face of the team, man. If my boy Hoop Jargon always says, Coach Brown, when he first got to Jackson, man, he went to a local dealership and did like this ad TV commercial with them. So you need your coaches, in these small towns to go out and mingle with these small business owners, the local news station. All right, you got to have folks to believe in you and do, charity events. When I was in college, I remember our college coach had us go to the local elementary schools around the city, and we was reading to kids, we were playing with kids, but more so we were basically trying to get kids around the community to be interested in the program, right, in the college. So these coaches need to pay attention to what's happening. Russell Haynes says too, it's SCSU versus BC score is because the second team in the East. I don't know what the hell you're trying to say right there, my guy. Yeah, Israel got you. James Harris, Delaware State, got you. And Florida Memorial, that's who Southern beat. They beat the dog crap out of those dudes. So again, you're on the highs of highs, man. You just won a game in football. You put up 86 points. New wave of football, right? High scores, this and that. But to think that you basically, like in basketball back in that, we used to call it busting the clock. Like get 100, you bust the clock. So you were 2 scores away from busting the clock on the team, right? Even though Florida Memorial, I believe, is just coming into their own on the D1 level. But 86 points is still 86 points. So your guys are on an emotional high right now, and they're feeling themselves. But you got to go down over there to across the way to Baton Rouge, to the big boy stadium, as they call it. And I'm not down talking Southern or any other school in the state of Louisiana. But Death Valley, I believe it's called Death Valley. I want to remember correctly. Death Valley, Baton Rouge, LSU on a Saturday night. The aura, the atmosphere, the feeling. There's going to be guys out there with getting goosebumps. And I'll tell you right now, there's going to be a whole bunch of dudes not ready for that action. I'll tell you right now, there's going to be a whole bunch of dudes not ready for that action. Because I remember when I was in college, we had a chance to go play Arkansas. Had a chance to go play Arkansas. And Arkansas, they weren't that good in basketball, but in football they were. And Darren McFadden was there. What's the other running back that played with Darren McFadden? I can't think of his name. Good Lord. But they had the dynamic duo at the running back. So literally, folks went to the football game, and then as soon as they left the football game, they went over and to the basketball arena, and it was like 17,000 folks. And some of my teammates just weren't or at all, man. And I'm like, dude, most of y'all are like JUCO All-Americans, man. Like, 4 or 5 state player of the years and type stuff. Like, And I was cool. I wasn't the best player on the team. I wasn't getting much time at getting much clock at the time. But I was cool, man, because I was used to playing in front of crowds. Like crowds didn't bother me, and I love playing on the road. But I can tell you right now, some of them dudes at Southern, as soon as they get off that bus, as soon as they get off that bus, they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, oh my God!" But you're gonna have your handful who are gonna try to rally the guys. LSU Saturday night is going to be tough, 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 tough. But hopefully Eric Dooley can go out there, have his guys prepared, have that bunker mentality, us against the world type of stuff, and go out there, perform and compete. And, maybe they can pull out a win. So that's where I'm at with that game, Southern versus LSU. Mr. Dumas, the transfer from PV that came over with Eric Dooley. Hopefully he goes out there and perform and just do what he does best, man. All right? When you're going to play these guaranteed games, a lot of folks get caught up in playing in the mindset, like, oh, I'm playing such and such, especially in basketball. Like, you're a small time school, like, man, oh man, we're about to go play Duke. We're about to go play Kentucky, man. Just go out there and hoop, right? And then in football terms, man, just go out there and play with the pigskin, man. So shout out to them. And let's go ahead and cover in detail. I don't want to say in detail because I don't have too much interest in this game. Texas Southern versus North Texas, which, shit, I should probably go to this game. All right. Like, I live about 40, 45 minutes from North Texas. I probably should go to this game. I got nothing to do tomorrow. I really don't. I have nothing to do tomorrow. So if I cover the South Carolina State game versus Bethune Cookman game, I might have a chance to go make this Texas Southern versus North Texas game. TSU, like I said, I did that game, the Labor Day Classic. They look bad, man. They look bad. And I know they were on the road, but Texas Southern, the PV, is not that far. But technically, it's still a road game. There was an hour and 15-minute rain delay. And they just, oh my God, they received the ball first. Crazy, chain of events. If you didn't see that game, Prairie View kicks the ball off after an hour and 15-minute rain delay, right? Prairie View kicks the ball off. Texas Southern, they get the return, and they first play of the game, they take it to the house. Give me a horn for that. They take it to the house. And what happens? Penalty flag. A penalty flag off, penalty flag. What's up, man? What's up? HBCU Overdrive with Doc Holiday in the building. What's up, my guy? Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to my guy. So they get a penalty flag on that play, and albeit they end up scoring, right? A couple of plays later, but that was the only real offense that Texas Southern was able to sustain throughout the game. And like I said, Prairie View, they basically ran them dudes down 290 East, right? You go 290 West is taking you to Austin. So they ran them back down 290 East to 610, hit that corner, and then hit 3rd Ward, Scott Street, and they's back over there at Texas Southern, all right? But Texas Southern versus North Texas this weekend, I probably should go to this game, man. Y'all let me know if I should go to this game. I might go to this game, all right? I don't have nothing to do. Let's see who else we got. I will say this: if y'all go to my community page, right? Go to my community page. I just put up a link, a post, basically saying I'm doing a pick'em, right? And whoever picks the most correct winners and score at the end of the season, you will receive from our online store, Between Game Sports, you will receive a free hoodie. It's going to be shipped out by December, so I'm going to send a hoodie to anyone who picks the correct score the most and the correct winners the most for the rest of the season, all the way to right before Christmas. So y'all make sure y'all go to the community page, Between Game Sports. I have that post up. We have the weeks of games, this week games. Pick the correct winner and the correct score. Now, in the case of a tie, I will break it down like who has the correct score closest within 6 points, right? Anything like that. So that's what we're trying to do this year. We're gonna give away a free hoodie during the Christmas holidays, during the cold months, right? So y'all make sure y'all go to the community tab, check that out. You must put your scores, you must put your uh, winners in that post each week. All right, we're gonna do a post probably every Wednesday or Thursday. You must get it done before the first game, man. So if anybody's on here and you want to kind of come share your thoughts, man, just copy and paste the link right there. Copy and paste the link. You can jump in on this and get rocking with your boy. Um, all right. So anybody who wants to jump in, and I see my guy HBCU Overdrive already then jumped in. What's going on, my guy?
What's going on, man?
What's the word?
Ain't nothing to get ready for my son's football game over here in Carrollton. So,
okay. Yeah.
So,
who they got tonight?
Diamond Hill Jarvis out of Fort Worth.
Who?
So it should be Diamond Hill Jarvis. Yeah.
No, I ain't never heard of them.
Yeah, that's a Southside school right there.
Oh, okay.
Fort Worth. Yeah. It should be light work. But yeah, I'm gonna be at the game tomorrow, man. Cause I stay, so ain't nothing but like 30 minutes for me.
What was that? TSU North Texas game?
Yeah, cause I'm covering that game right there too.
Yeah, I think I might go, man. I literally got nothing to do tomorrow, man. I ain't got no sports training. You know, usually do some basketball training with some young ladies on Saturdays, man. But I ain't got nothing to do tomorrow. I might go, man.
Yeah, but as far as, man, like what we got going on? You already did the Southern Heritage Classic preview.
I kind of talked about it, but not really. But women, we can jump into it, man. Like there's interesting storylines. This might be the last one ever. From what I'm hearing, Malachi Wyman did make the trip.
He did. He's actually there.
Yeah, so I saw that on DJ Ron Cut's channel earlier today. You have your leading receiver basically from last year, besides Mr. Keith Corbin. That guy back. So Tennessee State, from the game that I saw against, was it Eastern Illinois, Eastern Washington, something like that?
Eastern Washington.
Their DBs, Tennessee State DBs should get cooked like a Sunday dinner.
My whole thing about them is don't play 7 to 10 yards off the ball. You gotta, like literally, you have to press these guys at the line. You have to press them at the line and just get them out their game, get them out their route. So that's the only thing Tennessee State didn't do yet last Saturday. So, but then too, we talk about it's Eastern Washington. Eastern Washington been putting out 3,000, 4,000 yard passes for the last 15 years. So it's not like this is new. Like, you know what I'm saying? The Walter Payton Award winner last season threw for like almost 5,000 yards last year. And he's from Eastern Washington. So,
they have a new quarterback, like a 6-year quarterback, I believe. So even though he hasn't had very many throws, but he's in that program, so I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, and people will say it's a system. He's a system quarterback, but I feel like everybody's a system quarterback. You have a system that you run. That your team runs offensively and defensively. So you know what I'm saying. You fit the scheme of what they do. So people just need to get away from that system QB jump. It's stupid. It's stupid.
They can't help but say it, man. And that's when they don't understand it, really, man. So that's what they have to go to. I expect Jackson State to kind of. I think it's the weather is supposed to be bad, kind of from what I'm hearing. But I still expect Jackson State to put up really, really good numbers. Maybe not 50. What was it? 58-3 or
59-3.
59-3. Maybe not in that realm. I'm thinking maybe like a 38 to 12 win. Jackson State defense will, kind of do their thing like that. And I really think this defense has a chance to be better than what they were last year. I really, really do.
Because with the defense, it's not really one or two players. It's like a whole team. It's the whole team, and the defensive team that's going on. So it's just not one person just getting 14, 13, sacks. It's like you got your D linemen, they rotate, you get sacks. You got your linebackers getting sacked. You got your safety coming in the box doing what they do. So it's more of a team defense. Like last season, it was still a team defense, but like one or two people kind of stood out. Like
absolutely.
James Houston and Antoine Owens stood out on that defensive line. Cam Silman stood out in the defensive backfield. Aubrey Miller stood out as a linebacker. So he, you know what I'm saying? It's not just one or two. Like everybody's in, everybody's in on it. And if you look at it, like Dennis Thurman sends a wave for defense. Like you can see like your defensive line play two plays, and then he's switching out and putting in 4 fresh new ones.
Keeping guys fresh, absolutely.
Keeping them fresh. So the whole thing to me, Jackson State, what they need to do is they need to basically limit Devon Starling for Tennessee State.
Mm-hmm.
And keep Draylon Ellis in a box, because give nothing wrong. Draylon Ellis, what I saw last weekend, he reminds me of a little bit taller Kyler Murray. Like with the scrambling, with the running and scrambling, the boom bop, when he get into open space, make people miss.
Mm-hmm.
He got the arm to go along with it, but he kind of remind me of him when he was at I want to say Oklahoma, but when he first got to Texas A&M, and he kind of started. So
Kyle Murray's a bad boy at OU, man.
Yeah,
bad boy. I've seen him plenty at Allen.
Oh yeah. We got first. Me being from Cedar Hill, went to Cedar Hill. My cousin then got to see him up front, from the personal. But yeah, I think Jackson State would be able to win this game. People saying it's going to be a blowout, but if it is a blowout, the SWAC got to beware, because I promise you, if it's a blowout, that train ain't stopping. That train is not stopping.
No,
they don't care who is in front of them. It is not stopping for nobody.
Yeah, I've been trying to rack my brain about the proverbial trap game, and I'm trying to figure it out. I don't count this as a trap game because it's not a conference game. But like you just said, if they win this game in a blowout fashion, oh my God! Like you're riding extremely. You're already riding extremely high. I just seen the video where Shador gave his all the guys the beats, stuff like that. So they have this camaraderie, they have this flow, they have this feel of a historic team. And I said this, I don't know if you was on, not just a historic, HBCU team, but just a historic college football team. They have this feel. And I had a guy, post, he's like, man, Miami Hurricanes. I'm like, oh, it's going to take a lot to get that. That Miami Hurricane team, 0-1 back in the day, even Irvin and them back in the day, it's going to take a lot of that feel. But you starting to see that Hollywood feel, that you got Gilly the Kid running up and down the sideline. You got other celebrities are going to want to come to these games eventually. You got LeBron James tweeting about Shador. So it's starting to get that prime time Hollywood feel, and if they can run the tables, oh my God, it's going to be a historic season.
I think the best thing that Coach Prime did a hard reset after the Celebration Bowl.
Had to. He got that ass drove.
He got drugged. he knew what he had to get. He knew what he had to do. So what he went out there and did it. He got the offensive line. He got bigger, meaner, nasty. You know what I'm saying? He's still gonna get the skilled players. He didn't have to even do too much on the defensive side because the scheme that they run, it fits them.
Yeah.
For the defense. He just had to get the offensive line fixed. He got a capable running back out of the portal with Sivion Wilkerson. He got a lot of defensive players that came in from the portal, and he still has some that he recruited that was out of high school, and like Baron Hopkins from straight out of high school. You got like I said, you got Cam Silman, he straight out of high school. And then when he got to the portal, he got young guys that came in the portal like Miles Gaddy. You got Kevin Wiggins, K5, came out of the portal. He went JUCO route. Still had got Nugget. Got John Warren out of the JUCO. He basically pinpointed these things like, hey man, these are the ones that we need that's gonna take us over, take us to the top and put us over. So now it's just basically you got to go out there and execute, and he going by what he said: smart, tough, fast, disciplined with character. So that's the one. That's the those four. But you also got to have character because what he's also doing is basically he's building these kids up to where if they do go to some professional football league, either be NFL, CFL, USFL, XFL, even the football in Germany and Europe and stuff like that, you are going to learn how to be a professional when you come play for him, and you gonna go out there and you gonna fall out. He doing everything he got to do. Is basically he got the gumbo made. Basically, he just got to serve it up.
Yeah.
So and that's how I see it. So that hard reset from the Celebration Bowl was the best thing that he actually did. Plus, with the hiring of Mike Zim as a defensive analyst, which you ain't even have to pay him. He don't even have to be in Jackson. He back at the crib.
Send him some film, and that's it.
Some film, and then he sending it right back. A Louis Aguiar to fix your content, your kicking woes. You Brett Bartolone, a guy seen as a offensive coordinator. Most things getting him from the University of Georgia as the strength and conditioning coach. You got guys that he's getting guys that actually won football games, that actually won championships, that actually did something as far as football wise. And like I said, he's teaching them how to be he's teaching them how to be professional at it while you're in school.
Yeah, and I'll put it like this: it's basically like either get with it. Like you remember the famous line by Beanie Siegel is like get down or lay down.
Oh yeah,
it's basically like that because there's so many guys. If you want to come in there with attitude and think you're the big stuff and don't want to work hard, okay, fine. You know what? Let me get your papers. Whatever school you want to go to, I'm gonna send you to it, and best of luck to you. Like my mentor coach used to say, if you leave our team, when I see you, I'm gonna shake your hand. If we play against you, I'm gonna try to kick your butt. That's bottom line. So you have to understand. This is why Malachi Wyman was in the situation he was. You have to understand, like, dude, we got guys who are ready to play and ready to do what the program say, what I say, and shout out to Secloria Renee. I appreciate all hell HBCU Wildcats. Bethune Cookman's in the building. Appreciate you dropping through. But this what Coach Prime is doing is nothing short of spectacular, man, because
Right.
he's understanding the recruiting. He's understanding the pieces that he needs. And like you said, that Celebration Bowl butt kicking, getting your butt kicked like that, you have to take a step back and like, oh, maybe I'm not so good at what I thought I was doing, man. So he had to reevaluate some things. Got some new coaches in. Got the offensive lineman corrected, which if I gave out helmet stickers, they would have got my helmet sticker for the weekend. And getting the strength and condition coach from Georgia coming off a national championship,
Yeah.
like that,
was
all
a big
that
thing.
stuff, man. And he just, and this is what I did. I did my guy Hoops Jargon channel yesterday, and we talked about there's only one prime time, man. It's only one.
There's
So
only one prime.
there's going to be a lot of HBCUs trying to duplicate what he's doing, but it's not going to happen because he's one of one, man. He's one of those dudes. Like, so Jackson State is fortunate to have this guy and very blessed. Other HBCUs are going to have to do a different route, but just kind of take, bits and pieces from what he's doing. But you can't do it like he's doing because you're not him.
Right. And like I said, man, I'm gonna be real honest with you. Like I said, if Jackson State beat Tennessee State to the ground, everybody in the SWAC better watch out because they not stopping. They not stopping for nobody. But hey, man, I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here so we get ready to go to the game.
Cool, man. Good luck to your son, man. Y'all be safe out there.
All right, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so that was my guy HBCU Overdrive with Doc Holliday, man. Y'all go make sure y'all go check his channel out, subscribe. Anybody got any questions? Again, if you want to join this chat, just copy the link. Please do so. Make sure y'all hitting that thumbs up button on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, you can either like it or hit the heart button. We got 3 hearts on Facebook. All that good stuff, man. If you really like what we do, subscribe to this channel. Hit the bell button once you subscribe. Let you know we go live. I'm gonna try to do these every Friday between 3:30, 6 o'clock start time, Central time. I know we got folks on the East Coast. I'm in Texas, so Central time, and we got some folks on the West Coast. So I think we've covered pretty much everything. If anybody has a team out there they want me to kind of speak about, please do so. We spoke about SU Southern versus LSU. Interesting game. Hopefully Southern goes out there and not get too shell shocked. You got Alabama State traveling west, going all the way west to California to play UCLA. Interesting game. Another interesting game. TSU versus North Texas, which is right down the street from me. I might go to Prairie View A&M versus Abilene Christian. Can they run the ball like they did this past weekend? Grambling is playing Northwestern State. I think Northwestern State might still be in the Southland. I played in the Southland. There's a lot of Southland folks who don't believe in the SWAC. So hopefully, see what Grambling does out there with Hugh Jackson and his staff and his players. Arkansas Pine Bluff is playing North American University. Not a very intriguing game. I don't spend too much time on it, but, we shall see. All right. And then Bethune Cookman, South Carolina State. Very, very close game last year. Again, you follow Bethune Cookman, you know that team lost plenty of games within 7 points or less. All right, 7 points or less. So a couple of plays here, a couple of plays there, a couple of turnovers, and your team's overall record is totally different than what they were. Man, Bethune Cookman was like over for a long time, but their overall scores, and you see the scores of the game, you're like, man, they only lost by 6. They only lost by 7. They only lost by 3. They lost by 12. Like those type of games are frustrating. But as a coaching staff, you're like, all right, man, we need a couple more players that can make a play right here and right now in this moment. So South Carolina State versus Bethune Cookman, I'm probably covering that game. But y'all still have time tonight until 12 Central. Midnight time here, Central time. Go to my community tab. Look for the post that says what game should we cover this weekend. South Carolina State versus Bethune Cookman was one. Alcorn State versus Tulane. Prairie View versus Abilene Christian was another one. Um, somebody else was in there. Maybe Mississippi Valley versus Austin P. I don't remember. It was Alabama A&M versus Troy. So y'all still have time. 12 midnight Central Time. Go vote. Then we'll see what happens for tomorrow. And then also again, I'm doing a pick'em league. You'll get a free hoodie. Let me see. You can pick any hoodie you want, man. You can pick any hoodie you want. Um, Let me see what I can find. But my online store, we have multiple hoodie colors, right? We have multiple hoodie colors. But black is my favorite. Black is one of my favorite. There's a red one. There's multiple logos. There's one with the black outline. I don't know if I have that one. This is the white outline. Things of that nature. So go to the community tab. Just posted that probably about 2 hours ago. Go there, pick the team that wins and the correct score. We have to do score because there's a tie towards the end of the season. Person who has the most wins for the season will win a free hoodie because it'll be winter time by the end of the season. I will send you a hoodie for free, man. I'll purchase it myself on my online store. I will send it to you myself. But you have to go to the community tab and read the rules and all that other good stuff. Let's see. Get some of these comments. Hell, Wycott, HBCU Band Talk says, Hell, Wycott, sup, Doc? Go ahead and cover the game. Yeah, I think it looks like I'll be doing the South Carolina State versus BCU game. Ray Ballard, what's up, Ray, man? Appreciate your comments and your thoughts and all the things that you've been dropping on my links lately. You have the Tennessee State versus. I don't think I will have it this weekend. From what I'm hearing, it will be on the Southern Heritage Classic YouTube channel this weekend, man. That game is on CBS Sports Network. I don't have CBS Sports Network, man, anymore. I used to have it on YouTube TV. Got rid of it. Now I'm kicking myself in the butt because I definitely would like to do a play-by-play for it. But this year I told myself I was going to do more than just Jackson State games. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to try to stick with it and not be so heavily oriented on Jackson State. HBCU Band Talk says Bethune Cookman will win by 6. Go vote on the community tab, man. Go to the community tab after you get off here. Go vote on the community tab. So even if one person only votes for the whole season, that one person gets a free hoodie, man. It's just my appreciation for folks who come to this channel, man. That's just my love that I want to show, man. So that's how I'm gonna do it this year, man. But you have to go to the community tab each week. Be on the lookout for it every Wednesday, every Thursday. Got to it late this week, but it is what it is. So I appreciate you, man. Y'all spending some time with me on your Friday night. I'm sure that you might be at a high school football game, high school volleyball game, whatever it may be. You might be watching TV, but y'all took the time to rock out with your boy this evening, man. I think it got up to about 30 something folks. I always appreciate, very appreciative, very humble. I have some big news. I can't share just yet, but we might be going a little. What can I say? Can I say corporate? I don't know if it's corporate. I don't know if corporate is the right word. We might be going. We're making some moves over here, so y'all stay tuned for that, man. So, again, I'm working on my radio voice. Working on my Texas slang. Y'all know in Texas, man, we say man a lot. So I know I go back and look at these videos. I'm like, dang, I said man like 30,000 times. Ray Ballard says, do you know the record of HBCU football versus top 20 FCS teams in the last 20 years? No, sir, I do not. That's a great question. So please send that to me, man. I'll be interested to know. We will do another stream probably tomorrow, man. Y'all look out for it. Again, if you haven't turned on the bell notification, you don't know when we go live. So Y'all make sure y'all follow us on any social media platform. Facebook, YouTube, obviously. Instagram, Twitter, and even TikTok. My TikTok is totally different from what I do otherwise, man. So, HBCU Band Talk says, good show. I found this page last week after I left the OBC in Miami. Keep up the good work. I appreciate you, my guy. Cycloria Renee. I hope I'm saying that right, man. If I'm not, please correct me. Find my Instagram or Twitter and like scold me or whatever. BCU definitely taking the win. There you go. So make sure you go vote on the community tab, man. Make sure you subscribe before we end this, and then once you subscribe, hit that bell button. And y'all know what I say when I leave these things, man. I leave you with some words of encouragement. On your best day, be better. Think about it. Between the Game Sports, I'm out. Peace.